Hi folks, just wanted to update you on a trade I performed today. One thing which we're going to be doing going forward with the YouTube channel is we're going to be trying to get some live trades going. So instead of kind of trade breakdowns where I'll perform a trade and then I'll at a later date perform a breakdown of it, I think it'd be helpful for me to start recording and documenting like a diary, a video diary of the trades I perform throughout the entire process, so you can kind of see my decision making when I enter a trade and how I deal with problems with the trade, etc, etc. But just wanted to update today because the market's been pretty tough very often. But today I just thought I'll just get back into it and perform a short trade with FLOKI. So this is a setup I posted today. It's actually a long setup I posted in charts and setup today for FLOKI. If I zoom out, this is kind of the long, this is kind of the long setup which I posted earlier. This setup, so the idea would be to buy the breakout of this diagonal trend line and ride it up. The market isn't quite ready for long trades at the moment, I don't think, until Bitcoin starts putting in some bigger moves and Bitcoin dominance starts throwing some money in altcoins direction. So I figured a short trade would be quite appropriate today. So earlier in the day I was looking at charts to see potential trade opportunities, and I saw that FLOKI had touched this lower trend line here. It had bounced here, touched this lower trend line, and it's got this, obviously this dashed diagonal trend line acting as resistance consistently to the price action for the last 5 days, week or so. So a breakout is of course likely at some point, but I don't think that was going to happen today. So the price action was up here. We had the 200 moving average acting as resistance, as well as, of course, this diagonal trend line here, the dashed yellow line acting as resistance. And we also had this horizontal line acting as resistance. So that was confluence with three bearish ideas. So you have to ask yourself, are buyers going to show up here and push the price action above and break out of this diagonal trend line, which would lead potentially to a rally? And my answer to that was no. The market's just not quite right yet for that. So with the fact that we had three separate layers of resistance, the 200 MA, this diagonal trend line, and this horizontal line, given the wider market context, we've got the Bitcoin dominance pushing higher, which is making it very difficult trading conditions for long trades. I figured that we had those three bearish ideas, and the current market conditions in terms of the money flow are quite bearish for altcoins, so therefore I thought this was a good point to enter for a short trade. But again, not going to try my luck in case Bitcoin decides to kind of make a move today. So very simply, I entered here, and my target for exit was here at this green line, and it was a leverage trade, and this is my liquidation point. It was 5x leverage. So if the price action reaches this point, I will lose my money. But the idea was that if it does go in the wrong direction, if the price action does break up here, as opposed to going in the direction I wanted it to do today, because I'm so close to this resistance line, any breakout would most likely result in a retest, which would give me a point to exit with zero to minimal loss. Therefore, it's quite a safe trade for this afternoon. And within a few hours, of course, the price action comes down, hits my target, and it was a almost 5% move. I got out about here, just 5% move at 5x leverage, which resulted in 21.59%. And essentially, I started the trade at about 2, and 4 hours later, I was 21% in profits. That's how you do it. Remember, leverage trading is high risk, and you should not be trading with leverage until you are an experienced and successful spot trader. But in market conditions like this, when the market is completely all over the place, difficult to discern what direction things are going in. I mean, Bitcoin is in an uptrend and it's doing okay, and we probably may have an attempt at all-time highs soon. The money for the altcoin market just isn't pointing in the right direction. So short trades are still most likely the kind of thing you should be thinking about if you want to enter a trade at the moment. But anyway, just wanted to touch base with that. That was just 4 hours work. Well, not 4 hours work, but 4 hours to wait for 20%. And that's how you do it. Just a few little tips. Hope that helps.